Hey everyone, so I'm sure you all know that wave control is one of the more important things about mid lane. It can be daunting trying to learn exactly how to control the wave, but it's really not as complicated as you think to just learn the basics, and the basics can improve your gameplay drastically. So today, that's what we're going to go over. Everything you need to get the basics of wave control down will be in this video, and like I said, don't worry, it's not complicated. Now, let's jump right into the guide. The first important thing you need to know when it comes to wave control is the different kinds of pushes. There are two main ones, slow pushing and hard pushing. Slow push, you just get the push advantage over the enemy mid, then basically last hit to slowly push the wave. And to hard push, you just spam your abilities and clear the one wave and crash on the tower before the next wave arrives. How do you know which one to do? Well, let's talk about the pros and cons of each. With a slow push, you'll be building up at least 2 waves before crashing on the tower, sometimes even 3 waves. By doing this, you'll have a pretty big experience advantage because you have killed 2 or 3 waves that the enemy mid hasn't collected yet. So where would that be more useful? In the early game, of course. There are a few reasons for this. First, it requires less experience in the early levels to level up. So, if you slow push 3 waves in, you will definitely have at least 1 level lead while pushing. But if you're level 7 or 8, 3 waves won't even be enough XP for a level, so you won't have a level advantage. The next reason these slow pushes are so strong early is that minion damage is a much bigger factor in early fights, so if you're slow pushing and they try to fight you in a big wave, you'll almost always win even if you just stood still and right click them. The minions will do so much damage it won't matter if you don't use abilities. On top of those two things, champions have way less wave clear in the early game, so they can't just clear the entire wave like they would be able to at level 8 or 9. Lastly, levels 1 through 4, it's very unlikely that you would get 3-man ganked. If the jungler tries to gank and you have a level lead plus a big wave, you can 1v2 a lot of the time. But the later the lane goes, the more roam timings the enemy support will get, and you might die trying to slow push. As for hard pushing, you want to start doing this in the later parts of the lane, around level 7 or 8 because that's when you have more points in your main ability. By clearing a wave quickly with a hard push, it gives you time to get vision, clear enemy vision, or roam, which is what you'll be doing a lot more in the later stages of the lane. So basically, to sum it up, slow push early, hard push later. We'll get into some examples soon, right after we cover these basics. But now let's talk about freezing. Freezing is one of the biggest noob traps in low elo when it comes to wave control. A lot of you seem to think that you should just freeze almost every game if you can, when in reality, if you watch high elo games, someone will freeze for a wave or 2 and that's it. This is because to freeze a wave, your wave has to be smaller than theirs, so naturally, they will have the trading advantage. This isn't something you want, as without the trading advantage, you can't win trades, which means no pressure, and pressure is everything in League. So when do you freeze? You freeze when the wave is pushing to you and the enemy mid for some reason leaves the lane. For example, let's say you won a few trades, crash the wave and push back to you. You can freeze while they recall and let the enemy wave kill your wave the entire time, and they will miss at least one entire wave. Another common scenario is if the enemy mid roams without fully crashing the wave. This part is important, so I hope you're paying attention. Let's say you're playing Orianna vs Katarina. The wave is pushing to you and she runs into top river looking to roam to top lane. We've all been in this situation. First, you're going to freeze while waiting to see what she does. If she never appears top lane, you just hold the freeze until she gets back. If she actually shows up in top lane, you start hard pushing right away. This is because of tower plating. One of the reasons tower plating was introduced was to give more counterplay to roaming. If you just freeze the whole time, you'll deny them a few waves before they get back. If you hard push, you deny waves just like when freezing, but you get the gold from tower plates. The reason why you don't want to start pushing until you see them though is because they can fake roam, then you'll break the freeze, then they just collect the wave and you don't get any advantage. Alright, so these are the 3 main wave control fundamentals that you need to know, so let's look at some actual gameplay now. Alright, so in this game, I'm playing Zed vs Katarina in Grandmasters. We're focusing purely on wave control here, not as much matchup specific stuff, but some context is important. In this matchup, I'm stronger at level 1 as Zed, so this gives me control of the first 3 waves at least. If I start pushing, I'll have the level advantage, so she won't be able to walk up to the wave to control it or do anything to it. And remember, in the early game, slow pushes are better, so that's what I'm going to do. But I have to decide if I want to build up 2 or 3 waves before crashing. 3 waves is what you should be going for in most of your games. But in this one, I wanted to do 2 waves so I could get an earlier ward, as I thought I was going to get ganked very early and I wouldn't be able to 1v2 with Zed. So after I build up 2 waves, I finish clearing the enemy minions to make sure the wave crashes on the enemy tower before the next wave arrives. That part is actually very important because if you crash it as the next wave gets there, it could get frozen in front of the enemy tower if the tower is in range to hit your melee minions. But as soon as I'm done clearing, I go drop vision like I wanted, and now we have another concept to talk about. So after you crash the waves, the wave is going to rebound off the enemy tower and push back to you. Naturally, this is called the rebound wave. Do you see how the waves are even here but is closer to Katarina's tower? This wave will slow push to me because of the even minion rule. If the waves are even, whichever side they are closer to, it will push the opposite way. This rebound wave is important for both sides in multiple scenarios. In this specific game, do you see how these blue minions are all focusing down the one red minion? This is what will happen on these rebound waves, so Katarina will clear these next two minions faster than I can, and hit level 3 before me, so I have to be very careful and respect that and back off. This is when you should be looking for all-ins if you are the one with the rebound wave. For example, if you're on Fizz vs Orianna, and she pushes the first 2 or 3 waves into your tower, which is the standard for melee vs range matchups, you want to look for an all-in on the rebound wave as they will be further from their tower as a squishy mage, and you'll have the minion advantage. Now, let's say Katarina messed up a lot in the first 2 levels when I was pushing, and I chunked her to about 30% health. I know the wave will rebound to me, so after I crash, I let the wave slow push and zone her. If she's low enough that I know I will win even through the minion advantage that she will have, I can use the rebound wave to set up a freeze like we talked about before, where I freeze while she resets to deny at least one whole wave, which will straight up win me the lane, or I'll just kill her if she overstays. This kind of wave control doesn't stop at just the first 3 waves either. Katarina will slowly push the rebound wave back to me, and it will hit my tower and rebound back to her. I can't prevent that unless I get a huge chunk to where I can freeze like we just talked about, but that's hard when she'll have the minion advantage. I basically have to get that chunk in the first 2 or 3 waves that I'm pushing in, but as the lane progresses, the speed that I clear the wave will also increase. I'm level 6 here, and I clear this cannon wave to get level 7. This gets me my 4th point in Q, which is a lot more wave clear than earlier stages of the game. So for the next wave, I hard push it and move into the enemy jungle while my jungler is on dragon and put a ward on enemy raptors. By hard pushing, I'm not in lane too long, so I have a much smaller chance of getting ganked, and it got me prio so I can roam first or get vision like I did. And remember, if you want to improve fast and get the rank you've always wanted, then check out SkillCapped.com, the link's in the description below. Alright guys, so with the information we just went over, you should have a good idea on how to start controlling the wave and why you would fast or slow push in different scenarios. Like I said, these are the basics that you need to get down before you can get into advanced wave control, which will be in a different video of course. But that's going to bring us to the end of this one. We hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.